Hey, what's up guys, this is Aves Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts JOTARO KUJO from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, probably the most popular JoJo. Let's do a question of the day right away. Which is your favorite JoJo, and which do you think is the most popular? I don't know if there's a ranking out there that's like generally accepted as who's the most popular, but I'm guessing it's this one. Maybe Giorno, I don't know, I've heard that one a lot too. But for me it's this one, then it's Josuke, then it doesn't really matter after that. Okay, so this figure is in some ways really good, and then in other ways not as good as it should be at all. And we're going to talk about all of it. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It's a very tall, skinny package. I have to hold it far away because it's so tall. It looks fine. It almost looks like they're trying to redo the SAS packaging in the SH Figuarts styling, which is a little bit weird and probably not a good idea. The SAS packaging was pretty nice. But there you go, and there you go, and there you go. Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's packaging. There's nothing really notable about it. All right, here's the figure. Now, the thing about this line that has irked some people, and I find it pretty irksome too, is that the styling is way off for the individual styles of each character, and that's really this guy's biggest downfall. But he is good in other ways. So if you want to get him, there's a link in the description below at Big Bad Toy Store. He's going in and out of stock. I imagine they'll have a full stock at some point. Maybe they already have, now that I'm at this point of filming it, about a week after I got it. All right, he stands about 17.5 centimeters at the top of the hat. That's going to make him just about 6 and let's say 7/8. Here he is up against Darwin. There you go. So yeah, nowhere near usual Figuarts scaling, which isn't like an actual scale, but it's not even close. Like, he's big. So that's definitely a thing. If you're trying to mix your anime characters, this guy's not going to go on the shelf very well with anyone else. All right, here he is. I figured I'd compare against this guy just for size purposes. He's a little bit small compared to him, which is interesting. Is that accurate? I don't know if that would be accurate. Well, the thing is, like, the styling's way off. This guy should be huge and muscular, and he's not. And this guy should be way more huge and muscular than, like, the whole thing is, the styling bothers me so much. Here's the SAS version of the same guy. This is the 1.5 version. I just grabbed it instead of 1 because that's what I grabbed. Obviously, this figure is about a zillion years old and made by SAS, so it's covered in paint and hyper stylized. Obviously, he has a tiny head and a giant neck, and there's some issues, of course. There's definitely something to like about the stylization, though, compared to this, which looks like the corporate version, the McDonald's version of JoJo's characters. Do you guys get that feeling also from the Bandai stuff? To me, it feels like they're trying to suck the stylization out of it. And maybe that's for some homogeneity in the designs. But I don't want that. I want the figures to look like their source material specifically. I don't care if they don't match exactly with each other because they're not supposed to. So let me know what you guys think about that. But it does look generally good. He does have some bulk to his shoulders, for instance. But yeah, it's a very soft sculpt overall. Let's see. Here's the thing I think that irks me the most is the face. Not having the right styling. It makes him look like a very manly woman, as opposed to being, which I know a lot of JoJo's figures later on kind of are that, or characters are kind of very feminine men. Anyway, it doesn't look quite right. It needs the lines on the face, and it needs to be a harsher sculpt. This is a very soft sculpt. It's like a baby face. He didn't have a baby face. Like, he was supposed to be an attractive guy, but he's not supposed to be a baby face, and this almost looks like a lady, right? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? It just doesn't look right. The paint quality is nice, but it's not accurate, and that's what's driving me nuts. And then his hat is okay. I just don't think the styling is right. It just throws off the look too much for a hyper-stylized source material. To go in a different direction, to me, is to really risk failure, and I think people are going to buy these regardless, so it doesn't matter to Bandai, but I really want to know what you guys think about it. I think their approach to the shoulders is probably a good idea, but we'll get into that for the articulation. The sculpt for the torso, it's okay. The jacket itself is okay. No real issues there. They went with this material, which is like a very thin, not super soft, pleathery material, and I have no idea how well this is going to hold up. They have the wire going through it, which you can see, which I don't like. I mean, the idea is nice, but being able to see the wire, I think, takes it away like almost completely. I don't think it's super necessary to do this, but I also have no idea if this material is going to last, and it probably won't. And also, the fact that you have so much material at the end of the wire, I don't think is a great look, because it's going to I mean, it's not as good as it could be as far as a wire goes, but I don't know that this is bad. I don't know that this is good. I don't know. They haven't been doing this kind of stuff for long enough to know. But it's not a stretchy material at all, so it could end up flaking like pleather. There's just no telling. It's bunched up here at the top to kind of help it look good. Yeah, I don't know, but it is wired, so I guess if you like that kind of thing, that's helpful. It's definitely good on paper, I guess is a good way to put it. I don't love the way it looks, but I think it's fine. But boy, am I worried that it's going to make the figure useless once it flakes apart. So that's concerning. This is a plastic chain, and it's really big. I think they probably could have gone a little bit smaller with that and maybe used real metal, but it's okay. Yeah, it's just... His pockets have permanent holes in them with the pockets sticking out because instead of having interchangeable pieces like they did for Sanji, they just sculpted holes in the hips. This line's killing me. I don't know, man. It's like I want new figures that are nice for these guys, but I don't think this is what I want. How do you guys feel? I know, I've asked it a few times. I'll give the aesthetics, if you're okay with the styling, like an 8 or 9 out of 10. If you're not, then it's going to be like a 5 because it doesn't really look like the character. It looks like a DeviantArt version of the character. Is DeviantArt still around? Anyway, let's get into the accessories. We have some interchangeable faceplates. Those are all really nicely done if you don't mind the lack of styling. And then we have his hands. That's it, other than the display stand. Let's do another question of the day. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this. So Bandai has switched over to, I have one right here actually because I use them, to this new display stand. And the only reason I use this is because I haven't bothered to find my old ones. Do you guys like these new stands that have this different... Look at how much bluer this one is than this one. Do you guys see that? If we could focus, that would help. That's weird. Anyway, they have the different structure. So we have the double joint down here and then 2 joints up here. And I hate these. I hate these so much compared to the classic Act 4 stands because it can rotate. And that means it's not going to hold anything sturdy, ever. And I don't like the hinge down here. That's not going to work. I hate these new stands compared to the classic Act 4 because they over-engineered the crap out of them and they're actually far less useful than they should be. But yeah, accessory-wise, I guess 7 out of 10. I don't know what you would do other than to include a stand, so I guess that's fine. 7 out of 10. All right, let's get into the articulation because that's going to matter. The collar doesn't really move at all, so his head's not doing anything but leaning forward and down a little bit. It'll be fine for that, but like the neck and head feel like they're nicely articulated, but you can't do anything with it. So, whatever. For the shoulders, this is mostly a floating piece, I think. It feels like a floating piece. They have a bunch of joints going on in here. I don't need to describe every single one. You've got over-engineering out the wazoo, but you can raise his arm up nicely. It looks decent when it's down. It can rotate forward. Obviously, the jacket is in the way for most poses. But as far as the actual like cupped shoulder goes, the way they used to draw them like car tires, I think this is a fine way to do it. And it does get the job done in terms of range. The swivel is weird. It doesn't want to go all the way, but it does work some. Double jointed elbows work nicely. They're not the best looking elbows, but they do work. And then wrists are on a little ball hinge. That's pretty standard. The jacket is hard plastic. Like, it's not even very soft for PVC. I mean, it's really hard PVC. And you have joints in here and down here, but you can't really do much with them. You can lean forward, of course. So if you need to do that, he can do that. And this does go with him, kind of. But that's kind of it. He leans back at the hips, not at the torso, really. I mean, there's some, obviously, but it's very limited, and having a second joint in there, to me, is just nuts. I guess it's just for leaning forward all the way, but even then, it doesn't have a ton of range. So having it so fixed inside this super rigid and fairly bulky jacket kind of kills a lot of the more advanced articulation. You're mostly using this lower ball peg down here, so that's a thing. Let's get this out of the way as much as we can, to try to not ruin it. Now, bringing the hips out to the side, pretty limited. They don't do the splits. And they're not particularly good looking. They're not particularly bad looking, but it's like they just didn't sculpt it. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. Bringing the leg forward, the belts are soft, luckily. You can get it up to forward, but not very far. Same thing, it goes back a little bit. Man, these are just... Why is that so ugly, Bandai? What are you doing? You get your thigh swivel, but it makes him look like a Lego person. Like, what is the shape of these hips? I'm getting tired of reviewing bad figures. And it's not bad, but it's almost bad. The knees, they didn't sculpt. It has decent enough range, but I posted the one of Josuke. Is it Josuke? Yeah. saying how Bandai just gave up on knees, and people are like, no, the knees look like knees. They don't look like knees because they're not sculpted. His aren't sculpted, and his are even just more basic knees. And then I feel like I'm getting his name wrong, but it is Josuke, isn't it? Anyway, the baggy knees look even worse than this. Bandai has just totally decided we're not going to try on half the figures we make anymore. It's crazy to me that people are still defending it. They're doing the meme. They're doing the meme. All right, for the ankles, decent range going back, decent range going forward. Ankle rocker works nicely. That's all pretty good. And then the toe hinge is pretty garbage. Pretty bad. So yeah, his articulation is fine, but he's not supposed to like do much. He's just supposed to stand there. So it's fine for him, but it should be better. It should be better because it's all there. There's no reason it can't work. He's going to stand on the shelf just fine. Are they ever going to make stands? Have they announced that yet? Because that's kind of a big deal. I mean, at least from this guy going forward. The other two obviously don't need them, but I don't know, guys. I'll give the articulation a 7 out of 10. For what it is, it's fine. How do you guys feel about this? I'm so torn. They're like nicer, newer figures in some sense than the SAS ones. But also, are they what they're supposed to be? The styling throws it off. The articulation's not particularly good. The super soft sculpts don't help at all. I don't know. I'm very, very torn on these things. But as a reviewer, it seems like it's fine. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. If you're okay with the styling. If you're not, then it's a 0. It's just not worth owning. I don't know. This feels like Jump Force. Jump Force. Remember that failure? Yeah, that's what these are, kind of. This isn't really surprising, I suppose. Okay, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.